Hey everybody, Andrew here. Thanks for tuning in to yet another video. Today we're going to have a look at Dwight Yoakham's 1986 recording of Guitars Cadillacs. Now the cool thing with this song is it only uses two chords. If we think of the Nashville number system, it uses the 1 chord and the 5 chord. On the record the song is in the key of A, and technically that's what we're going to be doing today. All of the electric guitar parts will be in A. Now on acoustic guitar, a lot of people will most likely want to put a capo on the 2nd fret like I've done here, and use chords in the key of G. So in this case our 1 chord will be a G chord or a G shape, and our 5 chord will be a D shape. If you're playing the electric guitar side of things, or you don't want to use a capo, just think the 1 chord will be an A chord and the 5 chord will be an E chord. As far as the structure of the song goes, it's going to be an introduction followed by a verse followed by a chorus. Then we have the solo section, and that's the same chord progression again, so 16 bars, but the solo is split between the electric guitar and the fiddle. We then get another verse, another chorus, another solo section, the same as the first solo section, followed by a final chorus, and then the tags at the end. The introduction is 2 bars of the 5 chord and 2 bars of the 1 chord, 55-11. The rhythm that I'm playing is down, down, up, up, down, up. Down, down, up, down, up. And we repeat that for pretty much the whole song. Now, the rest of the song outside of the intro is essentially 1 chord progression. And so what it's going to be is 2 bars of the 1 chord, followed by 4 bars of the 5 chord, followed by another 2 bars of the 1 chord. And then we just repeat that, and that's a section of the song. So all up, one section, whether that be the chorus, whether that be the verse, whether that be the solos, is 16 bars. And I'll play through it for you now. The only place that the pattern changes is at the end of the song when he's singing the tags, and the tags are the exact same chord progression as the intro. So that's going to be 2 bars of the 5 chord followed by 2 bars of the 1 chord, and from memory he repeats that 3 times, and then he just hangs on the 1 chord until the end of the song. Awesome, and that's literally the whole song as far as the rhythm side of things go. So if you're playing acoustic and if you're singing, song done. If you haven't done so already, it would mean the world to me if you could subscribe and ring that bell so you can get notified when my next video comes out. But more importantly, if there's any songs that you'd like to see a lesson on, or if there's any theory or techniques that you'd like explained, please let me know in the comments down below. I'm open to all that sort of stuff. In fact, this video is a direct result of one of you awesome YouTube consumers out there sending me a message and asking for a tutorial on this song. So if there's anything you want to know, any songs you want to learn, please let me know because I'll get to it. Now that we've learnt the song on acoustic guitar, we know the chords, we know the format of the tune, it's time to dive into Pete Anderson's electric guitar parts. Now we've essentially got 3 things to learn. We've got our kickoff or the introduction and 2 solos. Now the verses and choruses, there are a couple little bits and pieces in there which I'll quickly show you, those little fills. But that's going to be all there is to it. So let's dive into the intro. The intro starts out over an E chord, and we're basically leading up to the change to the A chord. Now we start off with this little run like this, which is simply played by open E string, and then a slide from the 3rd fret on the E string up to the 4th fret, followed by a 2nd fret on the A string, 4th fret on the A string. That's the first part, and then we've got this little repeating phrase, which we repeat twice. That's played by playing the E note on the 2nd fret of the D string twice, followed by the 4th fret and the 2nd fret on the A string, and then we play the 3rd fret on the low E string, give it a little bend. The 3rd time, we're going to play that same E note twice again, but this is the bit that leads into the A chord. So we're going to play from there the open D string, And then we're doing a little bend and release on the second fret of the A string, followed by the open A string. And that gives us that whole intro lick. Okay, the first fill in the verse is over an E chord, and it sounds like this. To play it, all we have to do is mute the low E string and play this little rhythm pattern, followed by the second fret on the low E string. I'm going to give it a tug twice, followed by the open E string. So once again, now the second fill is played over an A chord, and it's basically the same thing. So to do that guy, we're going to mute the A string, play that little rhythm figure, followed by tugging on the second fret twice, open A string. Now in the last bar of the verse, we've got a little walk up that leads into the chorus, which is like this. And it's simply the open E string, followed by the F sharp on the second fret of the E and the G sharp on the fourth fret of the E. And then straight into the A chord. Now you're going to find as well that that same little walk up is utilized in the chorus if you listen to it. So every time we're jumping into a new section of A, you're going to hear that little. Okay, now in the chorus, we've got a couple extra little fills. They're pretty simple. The first fill's in the second bar of A, and it's leading into the E chord, and it's played on the end of beat 3, and it goes like this. On the end of beat 3, we're sliding from the third fret on the low E string up to the fourth fret, followed by the second fret on the A string, then the open E string. Now the second fill in the chorus sounds like this. All we're doing, very similar to the first fill, so we're going to slide from the third fret up to the fourth fret, second fret on the A string, and this time we're going to add the fourth fret on the low E string before we go back to our E note. Now that fill is found both on the end of the fourth bar and also on the end of the 12th bar. A little side note before I forget, that first fill is also found in the 10th bar of the chorus. Now that we've done the verse and the chorus fills, let's look at the first solo. Now the lead up into this solo goes like this. And to play it, we're going to slide from the third fret on the A string up to the fourth fret, followed by the second fret on the D string to the fourth fret. And then we're going to play two syncopated notes, which are the second fret on the D string. From there, we're basically going to go second fret, fourth fret, up to the second fret on the G string, and then we're going to go backwards. All up like this. Now the first repeating phrase in the solo sounds like this. And all we're doing is we're playing the A note on the second fret of the G string twice, followed by the fourth fret on the D string to the second fret on the D string, and then third fret on the A. And we're giving a little tug, so that's that flat third to major third thing that you see in country music all the time. So just once more slow. This leads us up to our first lick over an E chord, and it sounds like this. Now this lick's very similar to the A lick that we played at the beginning of the solo. We're just going to transpose it to the key of E. So we're going to start this one on the second fret of the D string, which is our E note. We're going to play it twice. Once again, we're going to go from the fourth fret on the A string to the second fret, followed by the third fret on the low E string. Give it that little bend, finish on the open E. Next, we repeat the first part of the phrase like this. But you'll notice the second time we cut it short and we didn't go down to the third fret, because there we're going to play this little lick. This last lick's a shift from a major tonality to a minor tonality. So we're jumping to the A minor pentatonic scale. And what we're doing is we're sliding from the third fret on the B string up to the fifth fret. We then hit that G note, which is the flat 7 of an A7 chord. Back to the fifth fret, and then back down to the third fret. on the B string. And then from there, we simply play 1st fret on the B string, 3rd fret, 1st fret. So nice and slow. Now for this last lick of the solo, we're jumping back more into a major sort of a feel. So we're sliding from the 1st fret on the G string up to the A note on the 2nd fret. Then we're pulling off to the open G, 2nd fret on the D string, which is an E note, open D, then we go in the 3rd fret on the A string and giving it a tug, followed by the open A string. And that is the first solo complete. Time to jump into the second solo. Now to kick off the second solo, we're going to play a pretty classic little country run. And it's over an A chord, and we're simply going from the 3rd fret on the A string to the 4th fret, which is our flat 3 to major 3. You're going to see this everywhere in country music. Followed by a walk up that A major pentatonic scale. So it's going to go from the 2nd fret on the D string to the 4th fret. We're going to finish up on the A note on the 2nd fret of the G string. The next part of the solo is just a little walk from one inversion of A up to another inversion of A. So we're starting from the open A position. So 2nd fret, we're only playing the G and B string for all of this. And we're going to use hybrid picking. So it's going to go pick, pluck. Then we're going to move up so that our index finger is on the 3rd fret of the B string, followed by our 2nd finger on the 4th fret of the G string. And we're going to do the same pick, pluck again. Move up 1 fret, do the same thing. Move up another fret, but this time we pluck them both at the same time. Should sound like this. From there, we jump into this little 6th phrase, which goes. Once again, another classic country move. All we're doing is we're playing index finger on the 5th fret of the high E, middle finger is going to be on the 6th fret. And we play them both at the same time with hybrid picking. We then move up 1 fret with our middle finger, and then our 3rd finger is going to be on the 7th fret of the high E string. Then we move that whole shape up 2 frets to the 7th fret. But when we get there, instead of just playing it straight, we're going to actually bend the G string up a little bit. And then release it. Go back 2 frets to the 7th fret. And then when we play our little first part again, so index finger on the 5th fret, middle finger on the 6th fret of the G string. We're actually going to play the note on the G string first, and then pluck the high E string with our middle finger using hybrid picking. Should sound like this, nice and slow. The next phrase of the solo is played over an E chord, and we're basically going to move that same pattern that we just played in A all the way up so that our index finger's on the 12th fret. And in the solo, we actually slide up to that position without actually plucking it, so you'll hear a bit of string noise. Once again, it's our little 6th country pattern, so index finger, 12th fret on the high E, middle finger on the 13th fret of the G string, move up 1 fret, and this one, remember, you've got your 3rd finger tucked in there, then we move up another 2 frets, and this time we're going to do that little bend. We're going to do it twice. And then we're going to play the unbent shape to finish it off. So it'll sound like this. We've got one last little 6th lick, which sounds like this. Once again, we're still up here on the 16th fret of the G and the high E string with our middle finger and 3rd finger consecutively. And we do that little bend. We release, and then we go back to the 14th fret. So once again, next phrase of the solo sounds like this. So all we're doing for this one is we've got our index finger on the 12th fret of the B string, followed by a little bend on the, the 13th fret of the G string, and we're basically bending the major 3rd up to the sus4 note. And releasing it. We then go to our 3rd finger on the 14th fret of the D string. Then we're going to slide down to the 11th fret. Then we go to the 9th fret. and then the 9th fret of the G string. So slowly it'll be like this. The next lick sounds like this. To play it, we're placing our pinky on the 12th fret of the high E string. We're then going to place our 3rd finger on the 11th fret of the G string, and we're going to do a little bend. Back to the 9th fret of the G string. We're going to finish it up on that A note that is sitting there on the 10th fret of the B string. Nice and slow. Now the last phrase of the solo goes like this. Now to play this last phrase, we're simply going to slide up to the 14th fret of the G string, followed by a little bit pre-bend and release on the G string again, but this time at the 6th fret. We're then going to play on the D string, the 7th fret. I'm going to play the note and slide away. Then our index finger on the 2nd fret of the G string. Sounds like this. We're going to follow that up with a little walk from the 4th fret on the D string to the 2nd fret. And then we're going to go to the 2nd fret of the A string, and we're going to give it a little bend and release twice to the open A. And that is all of the guitar parts for this tune. If you've made it all the way to the end of this video, thanks so much. You're awesome and you are legends, and you deserve a big pat on the back and maybe a chocolate brownie or something like that. But until next time, keep picking, keep playing, keep doing the hard stuff. Cheers. Bye.